Okay, so here we are in the character stream, Don. Let's, before we begin, talk about what's the theme of the game? What's the story?
The game Black Future 88, you are playing in a brutal synth-punk, cyberpunk world where you only have 18 minutes to live before your heart explodes. It takes place in the aftermath of this nuclear catastrophe, and people just stop keeping track of time afterwards, and time just becomes really different. So there's a lot of time-based mechanics in the game, but it's generally just a very fast-paced 2D action game.
So why did you choose 18? What's magical about 18?
It felt right. It just I wanted something that was fast. That's a fast game. I think since having a kid, I just don't play like a lot of long games, so I play a lot of action roguelikes, and I like.
I see. You're like, I have 18 minutes of spare time.
Yeah, pretty much like 18 minutes at a time. And yeah, that's basically it. Like even a lot of the short-term roguelikes, like Enter the Gungeon and sometimes even Spelunky, like they're kind of too long for me. I don't have time to go in on like an hour of that game sometimes, so just short runs are what I like.
Okay, so let's go through the character choices you have here. So you have Hauer, that's who you're on right now. Tell us about Hauer. Like why is Hauer your mystery date?
Well, Hauer he's just kind of a starting utilitarian character. He's easy to play, he's easy to succeed at. He's pretty low barrier to entry, and he's pretty high survivability, and he's got white hair like Rutger Hauer himself.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, I see. I see
nice.
the inspiration here. Okay, Segrist.
Segrist, she's. I probably owe money to Grace Jones for using her likeness, but it's she's really geared around melee and just upgrading drones. She's very good at. Runnels is really geared around like vertical mobility. Sue is really crazy. She's a very exciting character to play. She's young, so she has a little more time to live.
Yeah, what does that mean, young?
Her playstyle is so high risk, high reward that giving them a little extra time to live, because they're young.
Does that mean she has more than 18 minutes?
Yeah, I think she has like 19.
Okay.
Yeah, big difference. But it means that she doesn't have to play as aggressively because she's so high risk, high reward. Versus old Hauer, who's old. He actually has
17 minutes.
He actually has a little less time to live. And he actually has to take really high risks. And he actually starts out pretty powerful. But he has to play really risky if you want to succeed.
So what does Tinker mean for old Hauer?
Tinker, both Segrist and Hauer are Tinkerers, and they can do certain things in the game that others can't. They can actually upgrade drones. They can give their weapons to drones that they find. And sometimes that's really good, and sometimes that's really bad, because drones like to attack things on sight. And some weapons, a lot of them have really disastrous side effects, like they'll explode, and explosions are really lethal to players. So
do you choose the weapon that you would give to the drone?
It's whatever weapon you're holding.
Oh,
so
okay.
You can actually give them like a melee weapon, and drones will just it's actually adorable. It's like the cutest thing I've ever seen. So a drone just trying to kill stuff with a melee weapon as it just like slices and inches forward. It's adorable. It'll go big on Twitter at some point, and you go. But,
okay.
Yeah.
So Runnels, we have not really talked a lot about Runnels.
Yeah, Runnels. He can slow time. His character kit is a little bit work in progress right now. He's really geared around just like vertical mobility, so he actually can jump more. He's really built around that. But he also gets better weapons, so he's more. A lot of player power is geared along like technique and just weapon power and like dash abilities. And Runnels is really geared more towards weapons.
Tell us about the money shot, because that's
the money shot. So it was with great. There's a cat. So the money shot is actually a weapon. There's a few weapons that shoot money as their ammo source. So it's pretty cool. If you pick up ammo while holding the money shot, it actually turns it into money that you can spend at the in-game shop. And it's a pretty good weapon. It's a relatively powerful starting weapon, but actually you go broke using it, so you have to use it pretty carefully. But it's a good weapon because you can actually kind of take it all the way up through the first boss, and then it's actually pretty efficient at killing the first boss, depending on who it is. So you can just move faster through easier levels, or through the first level.
What about Ghost too?
Oh, Ghost! I love Ghost. Oh man. So Ghost starts with a Ghost Nail. It's like a 9-nail. It's a teleporting railgun. And actually, let's pick him. So you can slow time, which is pretty cool. It's a great ability. But he also starts, we don't actually have a HUD in the lobby here, but he starts almost all armor. And he doesn't really have very much health at all. He only has a few health tokens, but he's almost all armor. And that's pretty cool because certain buffs and certain playstyles are much more available to him because of that. But he really has to maintain his armor level. Otherwise, as soon as he's out of armor, he's extremely vulnerable. But he's one of my favorite characters to play.
Mine too, even though that 3 little ticks of life always give me a panic attack.
Yeah, very much.
All right, so I have a couple people in chat who are saying hello. Hello, chat on Twitch.
Hey, guys.
Some of you have questions. That's awesome. We're taking questions in Discord right now. So there's going to be a link that comes up that you can jump in. It's a question area that you can go. There's several in there already, so I'm going to kind of be going down there and curating that. And one of yours, I think, Alpha Deck, just feel free to add that, and I'll get it in there too. Okay, so I see you're looking at the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, I you know, the daily challenge today, I tried to beat it. Somebody had Dad. He had a great score. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go beat that, and I couldn't. I tried twice this morning, and it was like, oh.
You're saying your fan is better than you?
Yeah, the daily today is really interesting, and I couldn't. I after 2 runs, just playing like really recklessly, I'm like, oh, I got this. This is like not a problem. It was a big problem for me actually. I made really bad choices, and I paid for them dearly. So
I see. Well, that's one of the things about the game that's pretty cool, though, right? Like
it's a lot of choices, and living and dying with the consequences there.
Yes, yes. So we should mention, right now there is a closed beta going on. There were keys given out through our partner sites, Rock Paper Shotgun and PC Gamer. So there are several people, 1,000 people, right now who are in the closed beta. So I think what you're seeing on the leaderboard, and might be elsewhere too, that is the players who've been really great and diehard about doing their best and kind of playing and giving us feedback in there. So some people have questions that you're going to hear, and they're in the Discord, and some of them are from these beta players who are playing. It's a different, kind of a different view on the game. It's shorter, it doesn't have the same kind of content. It's there so that we can get feedback from people. Don can take that feedback and then incorporate the relevant points into the main game. So it's a bit different. Some of these questions will probably reflect that.
Yeah.
All right, so do you want to...
Yeah, should we get in?
Yeah, let's
Let me do something simple. Let me just do Runnels. Maybe we can oh, it's actually kind of hard to get up there. Alright, oh my god, I got it. Alright.
Double jump.
Oh, so good.
All right,
all plots move deathwards. Alright, here we go.
Yeah. Okay, so before we get into the questions, one of the things people really respond to well in this game is the music.
Oh yeah, it's all over. It's very loud.
Yes, it is very loud, but it's very exciting, very cool. Like, I'll listen to this soundtrack, which I believe, if you wish list the game on Steam, you can learn more about that stuff as well. But I like to listen to it. It's fun when you're playing. It hypes you up.
Hypes. I got a secret portal right away. That's pretty cool. Let me just clear the room really fast.
Okay, you clear the room and then we'll talk about the UI.
Yeah. Oh, the UI is... What's not to love about it?
What's not to love?
UI is my passion, you guys. Alright, so clear the room. I'm just going to go into the secret portal really fast. So there's a lot of secrets in every zone. And most zones have a secret portal where you can pick up a cursed buff. Cursed buffs have very strong drawbacks, but relatively strong upsides. This one will let me spit out really powerful nails. It'll give me more health, but also take more damage. So it's everything that you get from a cursed portal is a mixed blessing. So
it's a mixed blessing curse.
Yeah, and it also cost me time to touch that shrine. It cost me a minute of my life. So
let's talk about that. Where do we see your life?
Oh, okay. So the health is the top left, is those blue bars. And then just underneath it, we have time. And as time begets more and more important later on in the game. We'll get kind of stronger warnings about how we're using our time. Let's see what I can buy. Supply mail. Alright. Get some mail. Ooh.
So what are these circles that we're seeing underneath the time?
Oh, right. So those are our dash charges. Dashing is a really important movement ability. Every character can do it, but they have kind of do it in different ways. It's kind of your main way in and out of trouble and in and out of combat. I'm not going to talk to this guy yet. I'm going to save him for another run. Because he gives some raw deals. Yeah, so we also have our money counter up in the top left HUD. Oh, that's pretty good.
And what would you use money for?
Shooting out of weapons, but also certain things just cost money in the game. There's, I bought some fly mail. I can buy more ammo if I need to.
Mm-hmm. Your blood and things like that, that is right now kind of synonymous with your health. Like, how does blood work into this?
Sorry, can you ask that one more time?
Blood, talking about blood and how it relates to the game.
Oh yeah, so blood is your health, but blood is also kind of like this vital, abstract, like it's the essence of the player, just like blood is. So you can also do a lot of things with your blood. You can get your blood dirty by doing too many stims. In this grim 80s future, there's a lot of street drugs, and they got a lot of 80s street drug problems, like they're made of gasoline and diesel and stuff, and they're really bad for you. But they have like
not drugs, Ton. Stims.
Stims, yeah.
Stims.
They're stims, guys.
They're stims. They're substances that you take to enhance or do whatever they say on them.
Yeah, and there's benefits to being having your blood infected. We call it a blood infection now, and not being addicted. Oh, regular buff. This cost me 25 seconds. I'm gonna do this. It's just a good utility.
Yeah. Repair, yes.
And we're gonna just go back up to the boss.
So you prefer melee?
I do a lot of melee. It's really high risk, high reward, but I think it's
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, beat Uberheim, and then we have questions because you're flying through some of this, and I don't think people are seeing it all.
What? All right.
What? Yeah. Okay, so what's this boss to you? Why is he special?
This is Uberheim. He's really about just trying to flood the area with drones. He doesn't do a lot of fighting you directly, but he creates a lot of drones, and also just tries to jump on your head.
Jump on your head. Okay.
Yeah. So it's really just about controlling his drones to make sure they don't get, they don't start piling up on you.
So you're casting like a little shield there. What's that?
The shield?
There's a little like half circle of white. What is that?
Oh, that might have been something else. That might have just been hit effects.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, look at all this happening, everyone.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. So we killed him. We killed him like really good.
Killed him really good.
I'm gonna take the Night Piercer. They're all actually really good. I'm gonna take the Night Piercer though. This is kind of my favorite. And as you kill bosses, you get to upgrade your dash, and it just really forces the player to keep an eye on movement, and like movement and mobility is how you succeed in the game.
So stay in this room a minute.
What's that? Yeah.
Stay in this room. Don't run.
So
I'm asking you questions like I don't play the game. FYI. Like, not that I've been playing it for like a year, but I need to start asking some of the questions from the community too.
Sure.
Will we have difficulty levels from Crummel?
Difficulty levels they're not explicit. They're not like really spelled out, but there is an assist mode that you can play, and that changes how damage works, and also removes blood infections from the game, which are generally kind of a player hostile feature. Certain characters are also just easier to play. They're not as able to get endgame content as easily as a player like Old Power is, but yeah. So there's difficulty levels, but it may not be in a way that people are used to.
Gotcha. Okay, so talking about the beta, there's some limits there, and so this probably reflects that too. But after a few runs, will you know most of the rooms, or will there be a difference?
Well, the world is procedural, but the rooms are hand-authored. I'm constantly adding new rooms and new layouts. But you start to recognize them. You start to recognize them in Spelunky too. I think that's kind of what really differentiates like high-level play in this game. And I don't think that's so bad, honestly. But there are a lot of rooms, and there should be enough variety for all players. You can actually turn
Burn
down the stuff a little bit.
Got it. Burned Bits 21 asks, does the game have status effects? I think you've sort of shown that a little bit with curses. Maybe you want to break down like curses and buffs.
Yeah. So there are a few status effects, but it's not too RPG like. The player does get. This cat is trying to knock over this picture of my family.
What is your cat's name? Let's just get the cat out of the way.
Mr. Pants, come say hi. Oh,
yeah,
just
Joe the cat. I mean, he's gonna want his limelight. You might as well just give him.
He's coming. He's rubbing his head on my speaker in my desktop. So for status effects, there are actually a few. You can there's a few weapons that will stun enemies. Oh, no way.
So much love.
So there's a few weapons that'll stun enemies. They'll do kind of an AoE stun. There's a lot of player status effects like being addicted to drugs or stims, having your blood infected because of stims. Curses. A lot of buffs have kind of status qualities to them. Like they make running cost you time, but they give you a lot more dash mobility. And then there's some very special status effects that I kind of want to leave to be as surprises for players.
T-Blade is asking, is there any secret or unlockable content?
Yes. But
if you tell him, will you have to kill him?
Yeah, there's yes and yes. So this game goes hard on secrets. I did a secret that I don't think anyone will find for a long time, and that felt really fun to do.
Challenge. If someone finds a secret, what will you do?
How did I figure that out? I kind of didn't expect anyone to find it, which is kind of funny.
You've now issued the internet a challenge. We'll have to see. You know how that goes.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right. Is there any in-game rank variable difficulty depending on player actions?
Can you ask that one more time?
Is there any in-game rank variable difficulty depending on player action? I think the death screen is kind of what they're asking about.
I mean, there is in-game rank, but in terms of roguelike design, there's not a persistent power creep. You get stuff and it's now droppable in the tower. But it's more like Enter the Gungeon, where they don't make the game easier. The content you start to unlock later on is actually really complicated. It has a ton of liability, and it'll often get you killed if you misuse it. And then a lot of stuff in the game is about elective difficulty. There's rooms that have no enemies, but there's a switch. And
I always wonder, like, why would you pull this switch?
Oh, because one of those enemies will always drop a weapon. So it'll do a few waves of enemies, and you'll always get a high-tier weapon out of it. But that's again elective difficulty. There's ways to extend your time, but it always like increases the challenge. You'll have to fight a wave of enemies, but you regain some time. So it's the game is actually really geared around elective difficulty. Should we keep going?
Yes, keep going.
Okay, we're getting into the Palisades.
I'm gonna give a new invite for this channel because apparently your question channel is coming up as invalid. So we're gonna give.
So I took the Night Piercer from. Oh, I can't. That's too thick to dash through. But I can now dash through enemies and do damage to them, and I can also dash through walls. Ooh, I got too close.
I've just killed a lot of your time just to make it more challenging for you.
Oh, that's fine. Time doesn't always move. I don't know anything about sports, but I think it's kind of like football, where sometimes time just isn't moving. Oh my god, the kinetic lance. Alright, this is a fuck you up weapon. It's one of my favorites. Oh.
Why? What does it do?
So the kinetic lance is actually a really high skill weapon, but it charges when you dash for about a second and a half, where it'll do bonkers damage. I'm also going to take the Black Nail. This is a weapon that actually uses my deadlock time to fire. So as I fire, it actually uses my time to live. You can see in the top left going down. But it's really good. So what's really cool is these actually go really well together. So if I swap places with them, it actually charges the kinetic lance. Then I can swipe some, swipe at the Juggalo, and then, oh my god. See,
all right,
amazing.
People in chat, I'm giving you other links to get to the questionnaire because I know you're wanting to jump some things there and ask questions. So, okay, what kind of enemies? You're killing tons of robots, all these different looking robots. What are their names? Do they have anything special?
They're mostly kind of repurposed military hardware. There are a lot of prototypes from the owner of the tower, and SkyMelt itself, which is the name of the tower. They're kind of various degrees of functioning and not working well. We can show 2 bosses, right, Genesee?
Yes.
Okay, so I can go in and...
Go for it, and then we'll ask more questions.
Okay. Yeah, so there's... Yeah, it's kind of a mix of humanoid and augmented humans, and then just like pure mechanisms.
Maybe Prophet 5.
Yeah. So a lot of bosses are actually immune to being teleported, so they can't just...
Just move them out of the way, yeah. Now, there's all these drones coming in, too.
Yeah.
So tell us about Prophet 5, like what's...
Oh, man. So let's actually read the description.
Let's read the description.
So Prophet 5, many iterative cycles later, SkyMelt's only success at an organic-mechanical hybrid was finally stable enough for mainstream use. Earlier models could never control the commands of the organic material involved in the process, and they were often prone to mutiny if they survived the procedure. So, Prophet 5, that's this guy, this Prophet 5. He's,
So I see, the 5th iteration of Prophet, the successful one.
Yeah, you know, all the others kind of mutinied, and they resisted the procedure. There is a secret NPC that players will find later called Prophet 1. He has mixed motives, you could say.
I see. Okay, so look at these. Why is this one red?
Oh, so when, a lot of times when you kill a boss, you'll be offered their signature dash buff. So this is the Prophet Core Local Area Nullifier. So this is cool. So this lets me do a little distortion bubble after I dash, and this will actually destroy nearby projectiles and just kind of make them inert and fall to the ground. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so there's some more questions in here.
Yeah, I'm actually going to bounce back to the title here.
Okay, yes, you can save some time.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, you were looking at something there, the codex. Do you want to break that down?
Yeah, so the codex is, actually I'm going to go back to the title. The codex is just kind of the knowledge compendium. There are... Yeah, that's kind of where a lot of the lore lives. You know, the game has a story but not a plot, I guess you could say. So it's a lot of environmental storytelling kind of told through just scenery and the descriptions of things.
We saw a bar at the bottom where it said Sky Melt and it was red. What does that mean for players?
Yeah, so I'll just give a quick example. So, this actually made really fun. So, as you leave stuff on the ground, Sky Melt will begin to upgrade itself. And Sky Melt is the tower, but the Sky Melt.
So you're saying Sky Melt's a picker?
Yeah, sorry, what was that?
It said Sky Melt's a picker or a hoarder?
Yeah, Sky Melt's a hoarder. So SkyMelt is this like covetous, murderous tower that is actually alive, and that's the tower. So that money right there, I'm gonna let it just evaporate off the ground, and then the SkyMelt bar will tick up. So as you're playing a roguelike, so is the tower, and the tower will basically itemize itself, and you have to figure out if you're gonna play against it, or if you're gonna kind of pursue your current build strategy. So I'm playing as Old Howard, which is kind of my favorite character. He has a lot less time to live. He pretty much has to take the cistern shortcut, which is really hard.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna try to do it. I get it about half the time. It's so hard. Oh, we're gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna pull out a hunter.
Okay, so explain hunters.
Yeah, hunters are basically powerful enemies that will come after you. And here's overkill. They're really aggressive, but what's good about them is that they always drop a weapon. So you can actually, kind of in a high level playstyle, is to try to pull them out. Ooh, kinetic lance, I'll take that again. Alright.
So if you don't know, and then there are so many weapons in this game, do you have a number?
God, like 80-ish?
Yeah.
And they're all really idiosyncratic, typically.
So when one drops on the ground and you're a new player, you might be slightly feeling overwhelmed by the amount of weapons you're getting and the different types, but that's where that awesome codex comes in.
All right.
So if you just flipped through that map. Tell people about the map next time you get it.
Oh, sorry, the
You're so
teleporter?
fast with the you're so fast with the teleporter.
Oh yeah, sorry. I playtest a lot. So
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna take a buff and then we're gonna go into the cistern and probably die. I think this will actually help us in the cistern because there's a lot of explosions in the murder vader and cistern. So this is just a little bit of fast travel, just so players have a lot of time pressure, so they're not penalized for backtracking or wanting to explore before hitting a boss. Backtracking and picking stuff up before going to a boss is just like part of an action roguelike. So not penalizing the player is kind of what this game needs to do. All right, Jesse, we're going in. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, into the cistern.
All right, this is it. Then we have to stop and take more questions because you're showing so much awesome stuff. We can't reveal the entirety of it.
So Hauer is offered this. It's a special buff that only Hauer gets, but it lets me do that from big jumps, and I think that might help us survive this. I'm really low health. Oh, and this is a gas rifle, which leaves this explosive gas, which will now explode. Where that guy just died. So we have to be. Oh, that'll explode too. Yeah, the cistern is a great way to get yourself killed.
Oh man, look at the explosion!
Oh, that was sick! Oh my god, that was so good. What is this game?
Oh, okay, okay. All right, stay here.
Okay.
Yes. After you kill these guys.
Oh god.
There's just a plethora of effects, smoke and lasers and lights and.
Question time. All right.
Question time. All right, let's see. An interesting choice he made on the daily challenge is it can be replayed indefinitely within the time frame, and thus can be iterated upon towards a better score. Yeah. Are you planning on a hardcore daily challenge where you can only play it once, Spelunky style?
No, but I could. It's like, I think this game there's value in repetition, and the normal game is kind of the hardcore daily challenge without a leaderboard, basically. And I think having a mode where players can learn that seed and try to perfect it, it's kind of like the weekly challenge that Nuclear Throne does. And I know a lot of dailies don't allow you to repeat. I think Dead Cells does, though. And that was actually a really recent decision. I think we could always revisit it, but it would probably be a different mode, which is what this person's asking, which is a great question, honestly.
That's why it's so cool, though, with the beta. Like right now, the closed beta that's going on, and all the testing before that. Yeah, we're getting some really good feedback from people and suggestions on things like, hey, this might be fun, that then you can kind of take a look at. So yay, thank you, Jay Camarasa.
Oh, hey, Jay Camarasa. I recognize you from Twitter. So I think we're going to take Insectivorous, which is kind of a shitty buff, but it has that little dot there, which means it's part of an item set. So item sets are these secret combos that you can get, and it'll just kind of hint that you have one that you're actually building towards.
But you don't know the entirety of the items you need to gather.
I'd have to look at the codex. So those are tower grades. Yeah, so I actually don't want to show that. That's kind of it's a little spoilery.
Later, okay, no spoilery.
Yeah.
All right, Burned Bits asks, can you sync? And this is hilarious. I'm gonna guess the answer, but I just wanted to tell you because I think it's funny. Can you sync the idle animation of the characters to the music so they're like breaking it down?
Oh, so much stuff is synced to the music that already, like the little skull pointer in the top left right now. That's going It's doing all that. We got a lot of cool stuff here. The vapor smelter. Oh my god, I shouldn't take it.
Why?
I really... Okay, I'll take it. It's it's so...
Wow.
I'm gonna take the heavy electron pistol. This is really heavy weapon. The vapor smelter... it's basically hot at the edge, but also emits this explosive gas. So if you use it on things that are too close, you'll actually explode and detonate yourself. And it'll almost definitely kill you.
Yeah, I really like this one just because it looks like, you've just acquired the flux capacitor and possibly have hit 88 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing electrical effect.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Profit
motivator.
5. This guy again. All right. Let's do this. Oh, get some blood. So this is hard because there's also
Are you
some.
doing another boss, Don? Are you doing boss?
No, no. Well, no, not really. I mean, a little bit, but.
A little bit. Okay,
Oh,
well, profit.
dude,
We've seen profit.
a cursed microwave bomb means I'm effed. Oh man. So the microwave bomb is gonna explode in just a few seconds.
Kill you.
I don't. But this one came out cursed, which means I don't really. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. All right. Here we go. All right. All right. This is going great. Oh, my vapor smelter's out of ammo. All right. All right. I'm so dead. I came in here under-equipped. I don't really have enough DPS here.
That's okay. When you die, we'll just pause and ask more questions. Hopefully.
Oh my god.
I'm waiting for
Oh
someone.
my god. Oh. Oh my god. That was. I can't believe. That was because I took the flak jacket. Otherwise, there's no way.
All right.
Oh my god, that was intense. All right.
Keeps that out like Okay.
Yeah, that was.
That's it.
That was
No more
close.
now. You
All right.
tease the game so much.
I like
People have seen.
the shells. All right, so so we're gonna
Like
play a
a
different
shell.
character.
Yeah. So just
Oh,
sit there
man.
and like run around, show your dashing. So what's the movement like in this game? People ask.
Yeah, but, like how does it control?
Yeah. How does it control? Like
Yes.
what are you doing when you're dashing around up and down? Why are you going
Great
through
questions.
floors and some of that stuff? Like how's that work?
Yeah. So let me just grab actually old. I'll start with Howard. So movement is left stick. You can also do D-pad, but I don't know why anyone would do that. So jump with A. It's movement is not really the hard part. You can do a short jump. You can do a long jump. You can do a double jump. You can dash with B. And if you're holding up or down, you can dash downward or upwards. You can also do, while you're in the air, you can hold down on the left stick and do a really fast drop. It just gives the player a little bit more movement options. Yeah, it's. And then if I take Old Howard, he actually starts with this, the Night Piercer, and his dash is now purple. And what that lets him do is it actually lets him go through platforms, which is just a really cool thing. You have to kind of nail the timing. It's a little hard to get on purpose, but it's pretty cool too.
We haven't really used slow time. Do you ever use that?
I do.
Your like special ability?
I do it just when I'm lining up a shot. Just I hold it for about half a second. I'll play Old Howard again because I really like him. Or actually, I'll play Runnels. Maybe we can find some more weapons.
Gaia.
I don't think Old Howard.
So we haven't talked about local co-op.
Oh yeah.
So let's like people are asking if there's online multiplayer. There's not. There's local co-op.
Yeah, there's
So-
local co-op.
Yes, which is
It's-
super fun. Like
yeah.
bring back the LAN party.
It's a really neat experience to kind of like design for a single player local co-op experience. That's neat. There's not a lot of times you get to do that. Everything is so multiplayer driven. But when you know that it's going to be local, you can do some really special stuff. So I'm not going to give any spoilers here, but there's a really interesting time in local co-op where one player is dead and the game isn't actually over because the other player's alive. So having that as like a cool design space to play around with is really cool. I think Spelunky does a really good job of it. They let like a player kind of come back and they'll be like in a little coffin. But I think Black Future does something that's really, really neat. So it's a little Easter eggy, but not gonna really give it away.
Gotcha. Okay, so people are asking, who is this guy playing? This is Don from Super Scary Snakes.
Hey,
And
it's me.
this is his game. So let's talk about how long.
Me? What? Talk about? Oh, sorry.
Let's talk about you.
No,
yeah, I know
please
your
don't.
reluctance. I'm gonna have to pry it out of you. But let's talk about you, the developmental process. Why did you decide to make a game? Why did you decide to be a game developer?
I started kind of in games a little bit by accident when social and casual gaming blew up. It was just a really easy way to get into the industry, and I'd always wanted to make games. And that's when I realized, like, oh shit, like this is really fun. I really like the problems that you have to solve, and I like the people you get to work with, because you get to work with like really smart people solving these really hard problems. And I just really got the bug. But I think those industries are kind of exploit labor in a certain way that I wasn't really happy with. So after kind of leaving the industry for a bit, I thought, like, maybe I could come back as an indie. It's my whole life story, basically.
Gotcha. The comeback kid.
Yeah, comeback kid.
Hey, don't forget, no boss. I have to restrain you from wanting to share the awesomeness of your game.
I really can't show the boss here?
No.
Okay.
More bosses.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. One of the things I love that's stupid about this game is that I like to break all the signs.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be an achievement if you just destroy every sign.
There probably should be.
There probably should be. But it's neat, like how some of the things are interactive. You can just shoot and blow up.
Yeah. Oh,
So the little icon, I think people probably figured out already, the skull icon, what is that indicating?
That points you to the boss. The game isn't really about exploration as much as it is about risk and reward. So trying to figure out where the boss is it shouldn't really be a puzzle. So it points you to the door that'll eventually take you to the boss. But sometimes I know that there's stuff to explore and risks to take, but I should never feel lost.
Okay.
And take Spiteful Heart. This will let me reclaim some ammo when I kill these dirty synth heads.
So Billy, Cutthroat Billy, says in co-op, is it possible to sell your friend's heart time?
To what?
Sell your friend's heart time.
In a way, yeah. There's that's just one of those really cool design spaces that you find yourself in just from making a co-op game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Alright, so chat, if you're just joining us, this is Black Future 88, which is coming out on Steam for PC and possibly other places.
Possibly.
And it is coming out in 2019. We're not saying exact release date, not saying the cost quite yet, but you can certainly wishlist it, and we would recommend you go. We'll have the link in chat for you to come and wishlist it and to check out the game more. This is kind of like a little taste of gameplay from the developer, John here, Super Scary Snakes. We're giving you links to Discord as well, which is where we're doing a closed beta. It's already closed, so you can't get in, but there might be other opportunities for you to play the game in the future, so we encourage you to jump in there and give us your thoughts. Just become part of the community. Just seeing that. Alright, so we're going to give it 5 more minutes, John. I think we're kind of at a good stopping point. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the cistern and probably die.
And die again? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be super fun.
Alright, so any last questions from people, feel free to ask them. I see you guys in Twitch, which is great. And you can follow us on Twitch too. We often have developer streams and some pretty cool stuff. I am Genesee from Good Shepherd Entertainment. We're the publisher of the game. If you're wondering why this strange anonymous voice is speaking to John.
She's my handler. I'm kind of a wild card.
You know, I just make sure that he has all the accolades and press that he deserves. So here we are.
Ooh, the beekeeper. Yeah, we're doing this. Oh.
I have to say, I think the game is actually, like, we're seeing it on Twitch, so there's going to be a little bit of, latency and a little bit of fuzziness compared to like the actual game, but I think it's crisper and more awesome in person. Like, I think the setup here is good, but I think that the game it shines a lot more when you play it.
Yeah, I'm looking between monitors. It's
the smoke effects.
Gross.
Yeah, smoke effects get compressed. It's not as nice on Twitch.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's all right. All right, so we're seeing death screen. What is this?
Yeah. So when you die, basically everything you do in the game counts. It's not. I really don't have time for grinding games, so I try not to make one. So it kind of mets out material or content to you based on just kind of your experience in the game. So you have a level. I'm level 52, which is it's the 50-second unlock, I guess, and I get points for everything I do in the game. So just staying alive for a second gives me experience. Firing a weapon, killing an enemy, picking up a weapon, All the weapons behind that skull up there are the weapons I picked up. All the enemies that fell from the top of the screen, those are the enemies I killed. If you loop the game, you get a lot of points. Finding secrets and killing bosses is worth a lot too.
So you're saying I should just pick everything up and throw it back down?
Yeah, basically. No, it counts unique weapons. So
okay.
it used to count just like regular weapon pickups. So you could just keep juggling weapons, and really rack up your score, which is fine. Like it was a bug, but I had to fix it. But I don't really mind that. Like, hey, somebody wants to get to end game content faster. That's all right.
Okay, Seth asks, technical question, what game engine do you use, or is it custom?
It's Unity with a lot of custom rendering stuff. So it's Unity barely is kind of how I describe it.
Okay. Billy asks, do you, Don, like synthwave, darkwave music, like Perturbator or Carpenter Brut?
Carpenter Brute, Genesee.
Brute,
oh my goodness.
Sorry. You can tell it's not my genre.
No, sorry, never got in the habit. It's a filthy habit, never picked it up myself. No, it's great. I actually saw Perturbator and Ghost at DNA Lounge maybe last year. I actually thought it was like a terrible show. But,
oh no.
Yeah, I love his music and I listen to it as, because I do all the music for this game, so I'm really interested in music production. And when a new Perturbator album comes out, it's like, oh shit, like what's hot in music production? Like what are all the tricks that are so great? Because it's like a museum. It's like a reference book of production tricks. So yeah, it's fantastic. I like Carpenter Brute. They're cool. I find their music to be so compressed though. That's really hard to get through a whole album and feel like, oh, I'm gonna. Now I feel really refreshed. Like it's so loud and so compressed. So, yeah.
All right, so famous last words before we wrap it up here. Where can people find you on the socials?
Oh man, you can find me on Twitter at Super Scary Snake, and you can find the game on Steam, and you can wishlist it there. And
you can find us on Good Shepherd and on Twitter. And between the two of us, you should get some pretty cool info about the game.
There's a Discord. We have a really good Discord.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's also a Black Future Discord, but we'll talk about that yet.
Yeah.
All right. So any last thing you feel like you really wanted to share and just didn't get a chance to?
I think this game has a lot of replayability. And I think I play a lot of games like it, and I think that this game does replayability in a really cool way. It stays hard and challenging for me. It might have looked like I was taking it easy, but this game is hard all the way through, even for someone who's got hundreds of hours in it. And I think that is a pretty cool experience. It really does have that like endless challenge that Spelunky has, where even when you're really good at it, you can make mistakes and find yourself dead very, very fast. So, and also when the end game content, I think is really cool. So,
yay!
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for the stream, Don, and I'm sure that everyone will be seeing you again. I think in the next few weeks we have another stream planned. So stick around, guys, on Twitch.
Sounds good.